These are the cars added on day 1 of the Mercenaries DLC, and this is the paltry amount of vehicles that we're going to be getting in the drip feed. Let's take a look at them, their prices, the release order, and all the things that you need to know. This video is supported by my wonderful patrons on Patreon. Check out patreon.com/Bruffy1322 to directly support the channel and find out all the perks you can get by doing so, including early car testing info and a dedicated shout out in one of these pre-video messages. Alright, so yeah, this is all we get for the drip feed. A few bits of housekeeping. The Yuga Custom is now available to get, and as is another Speedo Custom. Obviously the Speedo Custom is part of the nightclub normally, but throughout the career tier unlocks that are new, you can unlock the Speedo Custom and the Yuga Custom, which is Lamar's Yuga from the contract DLC that used to be blacklisted completely from the garages and things like that. So yeah, we obviously need to wait for someone to unlock that before we find out how it works and whether it's even storable or upgradable in your garage or whatever. But yeah, just to let you know that that is now available, and obviously with them removing all of the vehicles that they have removed, I've obviously made a video about that yesterday. My motivation for this DLC and to do this is pretty low right now, but I figured, hey, it's important to let you guys know what's to come, what you're going to spend your money on, how much things are going to be, even if it's not that much. We'll do a quick video showcasing everything. So, I mean, we'll start with the day 1 vehicles, the cars at least. So, first up, obviously, the Stinger TT. It's actually, the full name is the Italy GTO Stinger TT, which is probably the most ridiculous name of any sports car they've added. In the game files, it's literally just called the Stinger TT, which I think would have been better. I don't know why they chose to put Italy GTO on it. But yeah, this also has an HSW upgrade, and it's a little bit insidious the way that this has been done, because the price of this vehicle is around $2 million. $2.3 million it is, 2.4 almost, just to buy it. But then the HSW upgrade for it costs 1.4 million. So you're looking at a grand total of nearly $3.8 million for the Stinger TT just to get the maximum performance out of it, which makes it the most expensive sports car in the game. It's like $400,000 higher than the previous most expensive, which was the Italy RSX. So, you know, and you obviously don't know that when you first buy the car. You buy it for 2.4 million, and then you take it to how Special Works in the car meet to try and get the maximum performance that's available to it, and it's another 1.4 million price tag on top of that. So, you know, wait for the testing videos. I will be testing all of these cars when they come out, but obviously the day 1 cars, hopefully I'll have a video up tomorrow. You know, wait for those videos to make sure that you know you actually want this car, because it's a hefty price tag, and the way that they've done it with the high HSW cost, it's not the best really. So the only muscle car that we've got for day 1 is the Clique Wagon. This is $1.2 million, so not as expensive, but it's probably not going to do anything in the muscle cars class in terms of race performance. You can't remove the panels on it, by the way. Those are on permanently. There's no mods to get rid of that. And then the 3 off-road vehicles that we got on day 1. First up with the Ratel, that's 1.873 million. Then the Walton L35, which is 1.67 million. And finally the Monstrosity, which is a fairly, you know, famous name from the old games. The Maibatsu Monstrosity will set you back almost 1.5 million. But again, just like with the Stinger TT, this has an HSW upgrade that's going to set you back 1.1 million basically. So in total this car costs 2.6 million, and the HSW upgrade obviously does seem to make it quite quick. This might be competitive in the off-roads class. Again, wait for the testing videos, but probably only with HSW vehicles turned on. But yeah, again, I'll test all these vehicles and let you know how they do. We've obviously, you know, also got the Streamer 216 plane and the Raiju as well. The testing for those is going to come much later on, but you know, I figured I'd put it here anyway just to show you and have it shown at least alongside the day 1 vehicles, because hey, there's not that many cars, let's be honest. So coming on to the drip feed vehicles, the way that this works is these 2 vehicles are from Legendary Motorsport website. These are the 2 vehicles that are on the Southern San Andreas website. We've also got 2 vehicles on the P&M Cycles website, amazingly, and also 1 vehicle for Warstock, which I'll come on to and talk about that later on. But They generally release things from left to right on the websites, so you could expect this Buffalo to come here first, or the Hotring Hellfire before the Brigham, but within the websites they can chop and change how they release them. But also the things that we've been seeing from Rockstar lately in the DLCs, where they release cars, then take them away and release them again. They could release them in any order at this point, but we can only go based on the patterns that we've seen before. So, the two vehicles on Legendary Motorsport. First up is the Buffalo EVX. It is an electric car. It is going to cost you $2.1 million to buy. We will show the back ends of these cars. I do not like the back end of this. I'll put it out there right now, but I'll show them all later on in the video. But it does also have an HSW upgrade, so we don't know the price that's going to be, but keep in mind that if the Stinger TT and the Monstrosity are anything to go by, this might end up costing $3 million in total to get the maximum performance out of it. Like I said, it's an electric vehicle, but it does have gears as well. Same is true for the Coureuse, and I've probably said that badly, but it is in French for the runner, supposedly. This also will have an HSW upgrade. It's also an electric vehicle, and it also has gears. So I guess it's going to be similar to the Omnis EGT, these two, in terms of the sort of a new breed of electric vehicle that isn't just one gear, maximum acceleration, no top speed. But yeah, they'll both have HSW upgrades. The La Coureuse sets you back $2 million to buy, and then again the HSW upgrade, it might be an extra $1.5 million on top of that. No idea. This does seem to it has the things that we like to see from rally cars, so it should be quite good off-road. But again, I'll test them when they release and give you the full rundown. When it comes to the Southern San Andreas cars, first up is the Hotring Hellfire, obviously based on the Gauntlet Hellfire. This is actually Gauntlet 6 in the game file, so it is the 6th Gauntlet added to the game. And to be honest, I'm for it. We'll see if it can do anything in Hotring races, whether it can be used against the Hotring Sabre and the Hotring Everon, whether it'll be better than them, or at least on balanced with them, or if it can even be used with them. It's nice to see some more Hotring vehicles. This will set you back, let me see, $1.8 million for this one. But with all the rest of the vehicles, there's no more HSW upgrades. That was only for the two on Legendary Motorsport. So the price that you see is the price that you're going to pay, apart from the usual upgrades with the engine, turbo, transmission, stuff like that. So yeah, the Hotring Hellfire sports class for this, alongside the other two Hotring vehicles. So it's taking a Gauntlet Hellfire from the muscle class and turning it into a Hotring version and putting it into the sports class, and hopefully it'll be balanced with the other two Hotring cars, but probably not. It'll either be much quicker or much slower, knowing Rockstar. And then next up on Southern San Andreas is an absolutely humongous vehicle with the Brigham, which also has some interesting modifications to it, as you can see. So the Brigham's going to set you back $1.5 million, and it's in the muscle class. It's unlikely to do anything in terms of performance for the muscle class, very similar to the Clique wagon that we saw earlier from the Day 1 vehicles. It's very big, it's very bulky, but it's a fun vehicle. It's huge. When you're comparing it to the Hotring Hellfire, which already is a decently sized vehicle, it's absolutely massive, this thing. So it could be a fun little thing to own. But yeah, I wouldn't expect it to be winning any muscle races anytime soon. And then that brings us on to a brand new class to receive a DLC vehicle with Cycles. Can you believe it? Almost 10 years since the release of GTA 5, and the Cycles class has remained untouched until now with DLC vehicles. I think that might be the last one, last class that didn't have a DLC vehicle added to it, even in containing commercial and emergency and things like that. I might be wrong with that, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. So yeah, Cycles finally has some DLC vehicles with the Inductor. Now, this is the Inductor, and then there's a second model called the Junk Energy Inductor. They're both going to cost $50,000. They're both going to be on the P&M Cycles website, which is the first, again, new addition to be added to that website. And they both have Coureuse, so this is what they're electric bikes. It seems like from driving around with them, they just function like normal bikes, like a Scorcher or something. But it has a Coureuse boost, so you'll be able to recharge that boost and then press the required button for it and give you a little bit of a speed increase. So it's not as if it's like, you know, it'll probably obviously be a faster cycle and probably going to be the best cycle in the game in terms of speed, if that's something that you care about. But they are exactly the same, both of these bikes, in terms of performance. The Junk Energy Inductor actually uses the exact same performance metrics as the regular Inductor, so there's you don't need to worry about there being a difference between the two bikes themselves. And obviously, I will test it when it releases. I've already tested all the cycles before. I will test these, and I'm expecting them to be quick, but we are going to be getting time trials that use these bikes in the game. So yeah, keep that's what they'll mostly be used for, I assume. What the income will be from those time trials, I don't know. It might be a worthy investment if these bikes are only going to cost 50,000 and you get, 100,000 for every time trial, but who knows, they might be really stingy with it, so we'll see. And then finally, the last drip feed vehicle is going to be on Warstock, and it's the Conada weaponized version. So it is going to be a separate vehicle. It is called the Weaponized Conada. It's going to set you back $3.38 million, so pretty much $3.4 million, and I would assume that you'll be able to add more weapons to it, different types of weapons that will obviously cost more. I'm putting the regular Conada in here because the model for the weaponized one breaks the server. We're obviously doing this on Project Homecoming, but yeah, there will be a weaponized Conada that you'll be able to buy on Warstock. Remember that the regular Conada did take the #1 spot for helicopters in terms of lap time. The weaponized one, it's probably going to be fairly similar. Obviously, you're not going to be able to use it in races, but at least you know that it's going to be a quick helicopter, but it'll just have weapons on it as well. How useful those weapons are going to be, I'll leave that to the people who focus on that kind of stuff. For me, I'm going to get to testing these vehicles for lap time and tell you how quick they are for lap time and top speed. And for those of you who like to see the rears of the vehicles, here they are. First of all, the day one vehicles from the DLC, but you can see all these, I suppose, by actually buying them yourself. And then we'll do the drip feed vehicles, just so you can get an idea. I really hate the back end of this Buffalo, I've got to say. Whilst we're doing that, I'll take this opportunity to let you know, if you want to check out YouTube memberships or Patreon support, to support me a little bit further during all of this time while I'm testing all the vehicles, you will get early lap time and top speed testing info just in text form. It doesn't impact on the amount of time it takes me to get the videos out, but yeah, if that's of interest to anybody, feel free to check the join button or patreon.com/Bruffy1322. And thank you to everyone who supports me there, and thank you to the guys on Project Homecoming as well for helping me to get these cars sorted. Shout out to Catalyst as well, who isn't here, who got them onto the server for me to be able to showcase them to you guys. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. These cars are all on GTAcars.net, by the way, including the drip feed vehicles and the release orders for them. So check out GTAcars.net. I'll leave a link in the description and the pinned comment that takes you directly to the filter that only filters out these vehicles specifically. But beyond that, that's pretty much it. Check the description and the pinned comment for a wide variety of links and info that you might need regarding this DLC. I'll be getting to work with the testing the vehicles now and getting the testing video up hopefully tomorrow. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for all the support. I'm sorry that Rockstar are making these silly decisions and removing a lot of stuff, but this is what we're dealing with. So yeah, thank you guys so much, and I really appreciate the support on yesterday's video and hopefully for the testing video tomorrow as well. And I'll see you next time.